I get asked somewhat frequently about what happens with your ideal parent figures after you've been working with ideal parent figures for a while. You develop more secure attachment, and then do you keep your ideal parent figures with you for your life? Are they always showing up? Is the intention to always be calling them in whenever you feel like you need support? And people ask, what is my relationship with ideal parent figures now that I've been working with them for many years, and that I offer this as a practitioner? What's my journey like with them? And so there are a few answers to this, and I'm sure there are many more possible answers, but there are three main ones that come to mind for me. So one is that you are developing an internal resource in your ideal parent figures that helps you to feel a sense of support, to feel a compassionate presence, and a sense of co-regulation that is actually self-regulation, that can bring you into regulation, into your resourcefulness, into your creativity, into your quality of presence, and really being you when you need support. And there's never a point in life when feeling support, when feeling held in compassion, is not going to be useful. And so, in developing your relationship with ideal parent figures, you are developing a resource that can be there for you for your life whenever you need to call on it. You might develop secure attachment and feel like, okay, you don't need to do work with a facilitator anymore. You basically have your basic needs of secure attachment are internally embodied, your relationships are good, and still always having a resource like that is always super useful, and it's always there for you if you should want to call on it. And so me myself, I worked with ideal parent figures daily for a couple of years, and then weekly for years after that, and continued calling on them. And now ideal parent figures isn't a part of my personal practice because it's kind of evolved in two ways, which I think are two of the common ways that people may integrate the lessons from ideal parent figures into their life. So one is that the ideal parent figures themselves as imaginal figures might dissolve, but the qualities that they're embodying and modeling for you can remain and actually become embodied in yourself. So your ideal parent figures are there to model qualities of presence in yourself. Uh, Things like compassion, like strength and courage, like presence and support, and just that kind of security and solidity. They're embodying those qualities as a model so that you yourself can have a frame of reference of what that is like for someone to embody that, and that helps you to embody that yourself. That's actually what's happening when you're coming into when you're feeling support from the ideal parent figures and you feel yourself coming into a more strong sense of self. It's them reflecting those qualities of presence back to you, and then those becoming part of your experience of yourself. And so then as you become more familiar with what it's like to embody your depth of presence like that, then the ideal parent figures themselves can dissolve and become more just an integrated experience of that presence in yourself. And so that's the real integration of the work and what it is that they're embodying. And then another way that this practice has evolved for me is that I don't call on ideal parent figures per se as much. Sometimes I do if that's the particular kind of spiritual support that I need. But more often, I'm calling on spirits of nature, spirits of plant medicines, and spirits of the ancestors, of the millions of years of wise ancestors that have come before, calling on them to be in the room with me, both in the way that I'm supporting clients, asking for their support and the just support of the Great Spirit uh, to to help me support clients, to support me in showing up in moments in my life when I feel that I need to feel that sense of support at my back. I'm calling on those other more spirits of nature, spirits of animism, spirits of ancestors into it. Not everyone relates to that at all. That's totally fine. But that's essentially what I'm doing in that, calling in these imaginal spirits. It's essentially the same thing as calling in the spirits of ideal parent figures for support. It's just that ideal parent figures are a specific modeling of secure relationship qualities. And in addition to just these universal qualities of presence. And so I'm just calling that in a different way, but it's essentially an extension of that practice that I've done with the ideal parent figures, of being able to call in that sense of support from this invisible support, and feeling that kind of integrate into my body and help me resource to navigate the complexity of life. And so that's how ideal parent figures is for me now. And I think for many people, they're going to go in one or all of those three directions eventually in their relationship with ideal parent figures. And I'm sure there are other possibilities as well, but those are the three most common and prominent ways that I experience in my life, and that I witness in clients as they develop along the way. So that's all about that topic. If you have any further questions, feel free to contact me, shoot me a message or an email using the contact in the description below. So that's all. Have a great day.